Yes, and thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining me for this live review of Monday Night Raw. Yes, the ultimate deletion was upon us tonight, or should I say last night, and yes, Bray Wyatt was finally deleted, delete, 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 delete. Yes. Don't worry, I won't do that throughout the entire review, but what is going on, guys? Thank you for being patient, and we are here to talk about Monday Night Raw. 19 days until WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan has been cleared to return to the ring. Check out my video on that. There is certainly a lot to discuss that is going on WWE, in WWE on the road to WrestleMania 34, as we are really in the fast lane now, and it'll be here before a matter of time. Cannot wait for WrestleMania, especially with the news of Daniel Bryan being cleared to return to the ring. That is tremendous. That is outstanding. That makes SmackDown must watch tonight, and you can bet my ass that my ass will be watching that show. So with all that being said, what were my thoughts on Raw last night? I thought it was another solid episode. I really do. I thought there was nice build to WrestleMania. I felt like all the major feuds were touched on. We also had the announcement of a championship match being added to the show that I had a feeling would be added, and much more. So, without further ado, let's talk about how Raw kicked off the year here, because it kicked off in pretty grand fashion. So we had Kurt Angle. He welcomed everybody to the show, and he had some bad news. And he said Reigns is still suspended. Lesnar has yet to arrive to the ring. And then Roman Reigns, ironically enough, appears from the crowd, goes right up to Kurt's face, and Angle reminds him, well, Roman, you're still suspended here, so we're going to have some U.S. Marshals. If you don't, leave accordingly, they're going to have to escort you from the ring. And Roman says, well, someone has to be here to represent the main event of WrestleMania. And Angle says that Lesnar, he will be here like Vince promised. And he says, Reigns, you have to leave the ring because remember, you still are suspended. And, you got to hold on. You got to be patient. WrestleMania is in 20 days, 19 days. You can get your hands on Lesnar, but you're going to have to wait until the pay-per-view. Reigns says he doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn. He ain't leaving until Brock Lesnar appears on Raw. So Kurt has no choice. I mean, this guy's suspended. What the hell? He's not supposed to be here. Bring in the U.S. Marshals. They handcuff Reigns. And, you got to read him his Miranda rights and everything. And then Roman says, fuck that. I don't care if I'm suspended. I don't give a damn. I'm going to beat the hell out of these U.S. Marshals. He beats the shit out of them. However, and he was actually hitting some pretty nice elbows to these guys' heads. So they took it like a champ, whatever talent they brought in to play the U.S. Marshals. But just as Roman did that, he was alone in the ring. Brock Lesnar's music hits. And he beats down a guy that was handcuffed. Roman Reigns was still handcuffed. Lesnar hit suplex after suplex. Reigns had a steel chair. He tried to hit Lesnar with it. It was to no avail. Lesnar beat him down with steel chair shot after steel chair shot. They brought a gurney down. They put Reigns on the gurney. Lesnar came back out, flipped him over, picked him up, hit him with the F5. This was really good stuff. This gets me excited for a Universal Championship match. This is how you should build to Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Not tug of war, not any of that bullshit, but this stuff right here. And I'm going to say it, I'm actually getting behind Roman Reigns. Shocking. Yes, I know. When you book him like a badass, like he should have been booked from day one, he's a lot easier to get behind. Is he perfect? No, he's not. But I feel he's come a long way. Just being honest right now, just shooting from the hip. And I want to see him beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. It would be nice to have a Universal Champion on your flagship show. My God, how refreshing that would be. And right out of the gate, I mean, wow. There are a ton of great feuds that you can do with Roman Reigns as Universal Champion. So you know what? Brock, your time is up. It's the gurney. Was it unnecessary? Yeah, I see some people saying that, I liked it just because it added to it. But yeah, you could say, was the beating that, vicious enough to, that you need the gurney? Maybe not, probably not. But I just love the visual of Lesnar coming back down, tipping it over, and then F5 and Reigns. So this was really good stuff. And it just goes to show you that if they try, if they want to put effort into these feuds, you can make it happen. Look at the way this feud has gone compared to 2015, which was garbage. That was garbage build. This is the exact opposite. So that, I say kudos to WWE. From there, we move on to Alexa Bliss coming down and offering up a fake apology to Nia Jax, saying she was sorry, when in actuality we knew she wasn't apologizing. Alexa Bliss can't apologize. She says it isn't in her DNA, and she feels like she just dropped 300 pounds of loser off her chest. And now that she's done carrying Nia Jax, she can focus on beating Asuka. And we had Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. Not the best match in the world that they had. It was okay. It was decent. To me, what was really good about this was the post-match. So Alexa Bliss gets counted out. Okay, Asuka wins. As she is leaving, certain somebody is waiting for her. Nia Jax literally runs down the ramp at her. She beats the hell out of Mickie James. And she almost gets, she grabs Alexa Bliss, who escapes into the crowd. I don't know what the hell happened to her, but shit, man, she really got out of Dodge way there. I have to say, I like the way that they're building up Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Now, Kurt later on announced that Nia will get a championship opportunity versus Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania. My only gripe with that is I wish there would have been a number one contenders match some way for Nia, to earn it. Maybe, have a triple threat between Bayley, Sasha, and Nia, or some type of fatal. They love their fatal four-ways or something like that. But, hey, I'm cool with it. The way that, have her hit the people's elbow on Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania. I like the fact that once Nia Jax gets her hands on Alexa Bliss, she's going to beat the shit out of her. So Alexa Bliss doing everything that she can to stay out of harm's way until Nia Jax probably beats her at WrestleMania, or a certain somebody might cash in on her for the, should I say, Money in the Bank? We'll see what happens. It's WrestleMania. Anything can happen, and that's why I am excited. So that was good stuff, the post-match. Moving on here to Braun Strowman. Of course, last week, Braun Strowman won a tag team battle royale to face the Bar. Kurt Angle did say that Strowman had to find a partner. So I'm not sure what, if they're going to have him find a partner, or maybe, he just says, fuck it, I'm going alone. This is going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match. I don't care. I'm the monster among men. I can do whatever I want. And I can beat Cesaro and Sheamus by myself. They do have Strowman pick a partner. I would like to see that, happen at WrestleMania. Keep that a surprise until WrestleMania, if that's an Elias. If that's a Samoa Joe. Hell, if it's a James Ellsworth, there's a number of different options you could go to here. Daniel Bryan. Can you imagine Daniel Bryan and Braun Strowman as the Raw Tag Team Champions? I think that would be pretty cool. I'm just saying. Anything can happen now, and I love it. So Cesaro, the Bar, come out, and they pretty much talk about how Cesaro says it takes years to become a great tag team in WWE. You have to eat together, you have to train together. These are his words, not mine. He says you have to sleep together. And then everybody starts laughing. And Sheamus is like, oh, grow up. We're talking about, we're not sleeping together. We're just, in the same room, but different beds. It was just funny when he said that. So eventually Strowman says, I want to face one of you two tonight. So one of you better step up and get these hands. So eventually Sheamus tricks Cesaro into going to the ring, and we get Cesaro versus Braun Strowman. Fun little match here. I think if you gave these guys even more time, they could have actually a pretty good match here. Both very powerful, very strong, very hard-hitting. Cesaro, for a guy of his size, with the way that he's able to maneuver around Strowman, it was pretty impressive. Like I said, Cesaro, one of my favorites to always watch in the ring. Cesaro tried to get the neutralizer, but Strowman was able to back body drop Cesaro out of it. He landed on his feet. Strowman attempted to set up with the power slam. Sheamus with the distraction. Cesaro escapes. Cesaro tries to pin him, but Strowman is able to fight it off. Cesaro dives up the second rope, but Strowman finally catches him, hits the running power slam for the win. So, another match I'm looking forward to. Either if it's Braun Strowman in a 2-on-1 or a partner of his choosing. Hey, there's a lot that can happen. And, Robbie, I would love to go back to New Orleans. One of my favorite cities. And what a great city to host WrestleMania 34. 19 days, folks. 19 days. After this, we have the Revival versus Titus Worldwide. Wasn't much of a match. However, the Revival won. And they announced that they are entering the, what are we on? Fourth annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Fifth. Never mind. It's the 5th annual. I'm sorry. Get my numbers mixed up. Okay, the Revival are in there. They won. They won a match. That's good. Continue to have them win. Build them up as number 1 contenders after WrestleMania. That's what I would do. Obviously, you can only fit so many people on the WrestleMania card. So, yeah, well, it's disappointing to see the Revival not have a spot. Hey, you can only have so many matches to go around. And we have probably 14 matches on this card. So, don't add any more matches, please. We have plenty of wrestling for WrestleMania 34. But yeah, they won, and that's all I pretty much have to say about that. We also have our next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the one, the only, Mark Henry. Mark Henry, one of my favorites, especially from his 2011-2012 Hall of Pain run, which was cut short due to injury. That was great stuff right there. A guy who's had a career in WWE since, I believe, 1996. World's Strongest Man, Olympian. He's really done it all. Great guy overall. That World Heavyweight Championship run, like I said, that was a joy to watch. His fake retirement speech in 2013, I will never forget that episode of Raw. That was incredible. So Mark Henry, it was rumored, but now is officially a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. Well deserved. For this Bayley and Sasha Banks match versus Absolution, Sasha Banks and Bayley, they cut a promo on each other in the ring. Banks says, Bayley, you're your best friend. They want to fix this. We need to work on these issues together. What happened at Elimination Chamber, it was what it was, just due to the fact that it was every woman for herself. And Sasha really wanted to be Raw Women's Champion. And she didn't betray their friendship. But she said Bayley did when she refused to tag her during her tag match last week. And how Bayley left her high and dry. And this happened twice, she noted. And Sasha Banks said she forgave Bayley since, they're best friends. And, blah, blah, blah. They're going back and forth. And eventually Paige and Absolution come out. So I don't think we're going to see anything happen between Sasha Banks and Bayley until WrestleMania. Somebody is turning on someone, whether that's Bayley, whether that's Sasha Banks. I think that will happen in the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. And yes, I believe they were confirmed to be in the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. I will double check that, of course. Let's see. Yes, Sasha Banks will be in the Battle Royal. I'm assuming Bayley will be in there. So there you go. Now some people are disappointed. Oh, Bayley, Sasha Banks, they're not getting a match at WrestleMania. Well, you can still continue this storyline in the Battle Royal. Hell, you could have it come down to them two, and then one of them costs each other, and then one of them wins the trophy. There you go. That you could still build to a match at Backlash the next month. Honestly, originally I did want to see them have a match at WrestleMania, but we have 14 matches. I think we're going to be good when it comes to wrestling. There's just no way. I'm sorry. There's just enough as it is. I don't want this show going any longer. But even if you gave them a match, they probably wouldn't have that much time anyway. So I'd rather see them, have the match at Backlash. They get more time to deliver a match of pay-per-view caliber quality. So there you go. That's my thoughts on Bayley and Sasha Banks. The match they had here against Absolution, it was just okay. Bayley and Banks argue towards the end. DeVille pushes Bayley into Banks. Sasha falls to the outside. DeVille kicks Bayley in the head for the win. So once again, teasing that dissension between Sasha Banks and Bayley. John Cena cut a really good promo calling out The Undertaker. He said, "We have heard nothing from The Undertaker in the past week." He says he is amazed that The Undertaker has been hiding for so long because he is embarrassed. Because The Undertaker thinks that he no longer belongs in WWE. He says the fact that he hasn't given a response of anything, that's very disrespectful, not just to Cena, but to the fans. And crowd starts to chant for The Undertaker. Cena says if The Undertaker is retired, just say no and be done with it. But if he isn't, say yes and give the world what they want to see. Cena also called The Undertaker a coward. He asked The Undertaker to do something. He said, send a casket. You do a puff of smoke, lightning, fire. Do something. So instead, we got Kane coming down to the ring. And he hit Cena with a chokeslam. Next week, it'll be Cena versus Kane. Okay. It was interesting to see, I guess Kane show up. But the mind games continue. We still haven't heard anything from Undertaker. Will we see him before WrestleMania? Or are they going to hold off until WrestleMania? I'm intrigued. I really am intrigued. I'll have to say it. Like I said, Cena, I thought, was on A game here. Cut another really good promo. Calling The Undertaker a coward. Not too many times you hear people call Undertaker a coward. So, will we see him return as the Dead Man? Will we see him return as the American Badass? We're going to find out, folks, in less than 19 days. So after this, we had our Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, and The Miztourage taking on Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. But before the match, Miz complains about not getting any respect and says he's going to send Tyler Black and Prince, these are his words, not mine, Nevitt. He was close. Nevitt. Who's Prince Nevitt? I know Prince Devitt, but I don't know who Prince Nevitt is. That was funny. Back to the bingo halls. Miz, when he's on this, has that fire. He's just pissed off. He can cut a damn good promo. No exception here. Rollins was a commentary. We had a 6-man match. Wasn't bad, decent stuff here. Balor was able to roll up Miz for the win. Afterwards, Miz and company, they begin to beat down on Finn Balor. Seth Rollins comes down to make the save. And Rollins curb stomps the Miz and tells Finn that he owes him one. So it's great seeing the curb stomp. Really excited for this triple threat. It has potential to steal the show. Was it going to walk out IC champion? I have to wait for my WrestleMania predictions video for that one. But there you go. Moving on after this, we move to... Well, before Ultimate Deletion. Yes, it was delightful. We had a really good Ronda Rousey promo package. It was really good stuff. Sit-down interview. I love when they do this. Talk about her journey from being in the Olympics, UFC, retiring, coming into WWE, wrestling on the grandest stage at WrestleMania. This was the best stuff they'd done with Ronda Rousey. So hats off to the WWE production team. They're great at this stuff. And you really don't need a... I didn't really think, she needed to be on every episode of Raw going into WrestleMania. She was on Raw today. We just didn't see her. She had an in-ring segment with Dana Brooke. So she was on the show. It's just we didn't see her. Like I said, once they announced the match, it was like there's not really a whole lot left. I mean, yeah, we'll probably see her on the Go Home episode, but you want to have her show up and it actually means something. So I like the way that they utilized her on this show. She was still there for the live crowd, and I thought we got a pretty good interview package, which was well done. Gave us more insight into Ronda Rousey. So overall, good stuff right there. And then we move on to Ultimate Deletion. Woken Matt versus the Eater of Pins, Bray Wyatt. And yes, I've never seen an Ultimate Deletion match, but it was delightful. Now I have to admit that I was a little sleepy when I watched this match. Yes. However, I will watch it again, and it will be delightful. We had Brother Nero, Senior Benjamin, Little Maxwell, Queen Rebecca, Vanguard 1. We had fireworks. we had everything. We had the Lake of Reincarnation, and yes, Matt Hardy was victorious, and he threw Bray Wyatt into the lake, and he has been deleted. Delete. But guys, Ultimate Deletion, I thought it lived up to the hype. It was great to finally see one of these. I seen bits and pieces of Matt's work in TNA, with the final deletion stuff, but I never seen a full match. I thought it was different. I thought it was weird. I'm happy to see that they got the main event spot. And I'm also happy to hear reports that this will lead to Bray Wyatt finally getting repackaged. Because let's face it, he needs to be repackaged. It's been a long time coming, so throw him into the Lake of Reincarnation. Maybe we'll see him come back post-Mania. But I'm definitely going to watch this again because I was a little sleepy towards the end of Raw. And I want to watch this in all of its glory. So it was worth it. Raw was good. I'm giving Raw a B. We are less than 19 days away until WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan is returning to the ring. There's certainly a lot happening. Going to be watching SmackDown tonight. Might even do a review. You'll have to stay tuned. But guys, that does it for this live Raw review. I want to say thank you all for watching. Be sure to click my like and subscribe button here on YouTube. YouTube.com/DanielGuys412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @DanielGuys412 for all my latest tweets. And until then, guys, I will be back up here in my next video, whenever that may be. So thank you all for watching and enjoy SmackDown tonight. See you guys.